What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we have a replay for you. Well, I have a replay for you today and it is on the IKV 90, the tier 7 Swedish medium tank, tier 7 Swedish tank destroyer in the Swedish tank destroyer line. And I'm playing it today is the Shadow Core, and he's in the clan of Sin, which is a clan that I'm in. So if you guys want to join our clan, then make sure you let me know, and I'll add you in. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the clan. We are here. I'm just going to pause it here right now because I want to actually. I'll let it continue. We are so Shadow Core is playing on Malyanovka, which is a very campy map for tank destroyers, especially this spot here. This is where you can get all. This is where if you have a good tank which is with good view range on this tank, or excuse me, you should even say if you go on this bush, you need to make sure your tank has good view range on this on a tank. And talking about view range, this vehicle has 340 meters of view range, which is okay for which is alright for a tier 7 tank destroyer. It could be better, but Shadowcore is actually using binoculars and camo, so it makes him a little bit sneaky. And I'm actually going to pause it here, and you guys need to tell me there's one thing that Shadowcore does not. He basically he doesn't get. The way I'm trying to say that, can you spot one thing that Shadowcore did not get? Now, it's a good thing, so that's all I'm saying. So if you can spot it, then let me in the comments down below. But as soon as you put it in chat near the end, you'll find out what he did correct, or what he did. So it took me a while to figure out once I watched this. This is my second time watching it because I had to watch it the first time. But sorry, I'll let the commentary continue. So he is using camo and binoculars to extend his view range so he can get some shots on some tanks at the other end. Now let's talk about a wee bit of this tank, because at the start of the game it is very quiet, and trust me, it does get better during the end of the game, I do promise you that. But at the start, Shadowcore does a wee bit shooting on that IS-2 over there. Let's talk about this tank. Now, the IKV 90, let's talk about its armor. Has zilch armor, 0000 armor. It's literally a glass cannon. It has like 15 millimeters at the front and 12 millimeters at the sides, and that is it. Literally everything else about the armor is just crap. That's it. So moving on from there, the gun. Now the gun is a 90 millimeter. It is a 90 millimeter, which uses AP, and although for its premium race it doesn't use APCR. It uses gold. Gold. It uses heat, so so that means the shell velocity will go a lot faster in the heat than it is in the AP. But the AP penetration is 210, which is really good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. You will be able to shoot a lot of the things on tier 9. Maybe not such as the maybe not as like the AMX M451. You might have to use heat rounds for that, and heat rounds are actually for the penetration are 250 again, which is really good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. So, but just now you're only going to see maybe about a few rounds of heat, but except from that, that's about it. The rest of the game you'll see a Shadow Core use AP rounds, armor piercing rounds. Now, a wee bit more about this tank. I'm moving away from the gun. By the way, I am not moving the camera. My hands are actually away from the keyboard. It is Shadow Core who's doing the full control of the camera action. So anyway, I just want to get that out of the way. Anyway, more about this tank. Its speed. Its speed is 65 miles per hour forward, or oh, nice fire on that panther there. A nice wee track and fire on that panther there. No, speed is 65 miles per hour forward, which is really nice if you want to get away from really bad situations, and 20 miles per hour backwards, which again is really good. So if you're ever in a difficult situation, then you can easily just reverse away from the situation. So speed. So far, speed and the armor's rubbish. The speed's good. The mobility's good. The power to weight ratio on it is 23.02, which is good, and hence why the mobility is quite good. Now the reload on this tank is 7.10, or if I don't think Shadowcore didn't tell me if he was using equipment on this tank, so I'm just gonna say the reload on this tank is 7.10, and the rate of fire of it is 8.46, which is actually quite good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. It could be a wee bit better though. And the shell velocity on its AP rounds is 1,275. I don't know what it is on the heat rounds. I couldn't actually check, but that's what it is on the on this tank. I didn't actually check the aiming time. I forgot to check the aiming time because I'm actually reading everything. What I did is before this recording, I wrote everything down about the IKV, but I forgot to write down the aim time of this vehicle. Stupid. Anyway, let's go into, again, going back to mobility now. The terrains on the terrain on it is on soft it's a 2.21, on medium it's a 1.37, 1.34, and on hard it is a 33.58. I think that's wrong. I think I actually wrote that down wrong. I might have to go check again. I have to check later though, because I don't want to alt tab out the game. So yeah, so far we know about the IKV. It's got good mobility. It's got a good gun, good punchy gun. The armor's rubbish. That's really about it. Now let's talk about this tank destroyer doesn't have a turret, so it can only move its gun elevation 20 degrees to the right and 20 degrees to the left, which is actually quite good because you wouldn't need to really move a lot in this tank. So that is one advantage to the IKV, and the depression angles and elevation angles is 10 degrees of gun depression, which is always nice. It's always nice to see a nice 10 degrees on this tank, and the elevation is 12, which is alright. Could be better, but there we go. So the health point on this vehicle is 800. Now that's not actually that good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. It could be maybe a wee bit more, just because the survivability isn't 800 hit points is not that good. So now, as you can see, that Shadowcore has actually resorted to heat rounds. So if you don't want to look at heat, then look away now. Click off this video. Anyway, yeah, but now again, going back to the gun. Now this thing carries 48 shells in the tank, and it does a potential damage of 11,020, which is actually pretty good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. So again, plus there to the IKV. Now after you get the IKV, it is the Uday, the tier 8. Now that thing is a sneaky little thing. And again, this kind of giving a clue away here on what Shadow has done. Like, if you haven't noticed it yet, he has not been spotted this whole game. That was kind of like the kind of thing there. Like these tank destroyers are very sneaky. He's not been spotted at all this whole game. Probably just until maybe around about 2 minutes where he does get spotted. Now he does auto aim at the AMX, and shooting the back of it with heat isn't really the way to go, but when you are dealing with tier 9 opponents, you kind of need to get the hit points down. So the match has gone on for about about 5 minutes, and it's already 13-12 to Shadowcore's team. so good on them. Now I'm going to pause it here because a nice shot into the T30. Now this is two tier 9 two tier 9 tanks that can easily wreck Shadow Core, but the AMX and the T30 make a couple bad mistakes here, so let's see if you can spot them as the game goes on. So Shadow Core has done around about now he's done 3.3k damage. Oh, sorry, let's make that 3.5k damage here. Now, this is a part where I said this is worth the watch. Watch how sneaky he is. This AMX, like I said, does a couple mistakes here. So he knows that Shadow Core is here, but he doesn't know exactly where. And the T30 is probably saying to the AMX, look, Shadow Core's over here, look, the IKV's over here shooting me from across the map, can you kill him? And the AMX just can't see him. He clearly knows that he's here, he just doesn't know where. That was a bit of a bad shot there on the behalf of Shadow Core there, shooting into the tree, or shooting into the ground there. A nice shot into the T30 again. Again, resorting to heat rounds, but when you are against tier 9s, I think you are going to need to use those heat rounds. Now this is where Shadow Core could have used HE, switch to HE there, because that is only 76 hit points. You don't even need to, all you need to do is get close to that thing and just one shot and it's dead. Now I don't know why the MX didn't come all the way around. He completely went, he's now going to go help the T30, his friend there, but Shadow Core is just being one really sneaky person. He keeps sniping. Now he only does have 2 heat shells left, so he needs to be cautious, and that's a kill confirmed. First kill of the game on the T30. And there you go, got in chat there, the Object 705 says, good job IKV. There we go. And then Shadow Core puts in chat, haha, 4.3k damage and 1.7k spotting. Look at that. So it looks like you can do a bit of spotting in a sneaky tank destroyer. So he has now only got 1 heat round left, so he needs to be careful how he uses it. So it is 1 versus 3 currently. That AMX needs to play well. No, oh, looks like the AMX just comes over here. There you go, I'm pausing it. This is the first time that Shadow Core has been spotted this whole game. So props to you, Shadow Core, there, but for being a campy little bitch, but well played to you there. Now Shadow Core does do a wee bit of a misplay here, does get a wee bit cocky in the last 2 minutes of this game. Now he does get artillery support because obviously Shadow has RT on his team. So he took a hit from the IKV there, and a bit of a misplay there, shooting straight into the turret, because you want to actually penetrate. That AMX has got very strong frontal hull armor, and turret armor, so you won't pin anything there. So a bit of a misplay there, but that's okay. Let's see if he can recover it. And 108 spotting from that archer shot there. Looks like it did a wee bit of splash damage to the AMX. So let's see how much health the AMX is on now. 91 health. Both of them missed. Shadow shoots into ground, AMX misses, but let's see if Shadow Core can circle him. Now again, a bit of a misplay here by Shadow Core. Shadow Core, Shadow Core, you don't have a turret. You can outcircle a tank with a turret, and there we go, look at that. There we go, GG, that is the game. Now, like I said, a wee bit of a misplay from Shadow Core there, a wee bit cocky at the end, but that's okay. So that is 4.3k damage done, and another 2.3k damage spotted. Yeah, 2.3 k spotted for his team. So looks like you can be really sneaky with a tank destroyer after all. So victory, ta-da! Anyway, unfortunately he did die at the end, but that is slightly unfortunate for him. But without further ado, let's go look at his results and see how he did. So as you can see here, that Ace Tanker, obviously for the 4.6k damage done, You got a couple ribbons to put in his tank, a Confederate and a high caliber for the nice 4.6k damage done, and the Confederate as well. So like I said, 4.6k damage, very good. He only got one kill, but that's okay. When you're in a tier 7 tank destroyer and a tier 8 matchmaking, that's actually alright. And he got highest by experience as well, with 1000 and 1060 experience done. And like I said, four medals to put in his tank. So let's go have a look at the detailed report. Now he was actually using a premium account at the time, but he still lost 10k credits because of the heat rounds. Now the heat rounds are probably around about 4k, so they are quite expensive, including also the repair kit. So that was quite unfortunate, the heat rounds at the end, a bit of a waste, a couple of wasteful heat shells, but I think that is still a pretty good battle overall for Shadow Core here. So that was the end of the replay, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. That was Shadow Core in the IKV 90 tier 7 Swedish tank destroyer. And if you want more of these battles replays, then let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, without further ado, I'd like to thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.